Hello, FleetReadyFam. Welcome to FleetReadyGaming. My name is Sivad, and welcome to the channel. Today is March 23rd, 2023, and we are going to be taking a look at the latest Inside Star Citizen video that CIG posted earlier today. So let's go ahead and check it out. All right, so the latest episode came out 2 hours ago and is titled Tractor Factor, covering all things tractor beams and the new gameplay associated with them, coming with the new update Alpha 3.19. So let's go ahead and check out the video.
Tractor beams have been a staple of science fiction for almost 100 years. They go all the way back to the work of Amazing Stories magazine and E.E. Smith's classic Space Hounds of IPC, the serials of 1931. They're a metaphor for all of science fiction in that they look to extend our reach beyond what's physical and bring that which we can only imagine closer and within our grasp.
Sorry, we're going to pause here. Rewind here. I just noticed a head in the background.
E. Smith's classic Space Hounds of IPC, the serials of 1931. They're a metaphor for all of science fiction in that they look to extend our reach beyond what's physical and bring that which we can only imagine closer and within our grasp.
Awesome.
And while tractor beam gameplay already has a presence in the persistent universe, work is currently underway bringing its full potential into the hands and spacecraft of the Stanton system, with the next step forward happening in the upcoming Alpha 3.19.
Tractor Factor.
The current state of the tractor beam is already in a really fun and fitting state. Especially when the tractor beam was released, people got really creative with stacking boxes, creating obstacles for each other, or coming up with very interesting ideas of systemic multiplayer action, like who can destroy the ship and steal as many boxes, like team versus team situation. Or you could even use the grabbed objects as harm, so snap them on someone else's person head and then make them the minimum unconscious. So tractor beams in live game currently are able to move cargo crates onto your cargo grid. So it's fitting the concept of you having a handgun that can do the box interactions, and there's still the grapple mechanic that you can use. So you can pull yourself towards ships or towards bigger objects, heavier objects, to traverse a bit easier in zero-G. The limitations are that it is very, it cannot interact with any items yet. It's just there for boxes, for unconscious bodies or dead bodies.
Do you intend for it to be for unconscious bodies?
I think it's intended to be for unconscious bodies, yes. So where do we want to take tractor beams? We would like to introduce more variances to the FBS tractor beam that you're seeing. So right now you only have the multi-tool that has the tractor beam attachment. So we would like to have a dedicated tool, maybe even upgraded version to the tractor beam attachment. So you might have heavier lifting tractor beam attachment for the multi-tool. So we would really like to dive into more meaningful itemization for the tractor beam. And basically,
I'm gonna pause for a second. Be interesting to see, because I know that in the past they have talked about having like a battery pack that you can attach to your belt or backpack or something. It'd be interesting if they could implement that to allow for the multi-tool version of the tractor beam, to allow for more power output, to allow for heavier loads. I mean, obviously getting the tractor beam rifle into the game would be the best bet. But yeah, just a little side thought there.
Have it believable that you have a big tractor beam to move like very heavy and very big objects, rather than you just have your tiny handgun that you move like 36 square cubic meter boxes around or something like that. There's also the tractor beam in regards to the salvage gameplay. So you have on the salvage ships, like the Reclaimer and the Vulture, you have the functionality to pull in debris. And then in the future, once the salvage feature is progressing, you will be able to munch those pieces and create like additional resources out of that. For vehicle tractor beams, there are basically two things that we would like to see. And there's the concept of remote turrets. So something that its full purpose is to basically help the systems that the ship itself has. For example, on the Starfarer, a tractor beam that is able to bring in the mining pods from the prospector, or detach the fuel pods from the fuel pod socket, so you could exchange them, or for example, for the hull variances, that you have a remote tractor beam that is able to detach the cargo boxes from the basically cargo holding plates on the hull series ships. And then there's additionally the concept of the not remote tractor beam, but the fully like ship-driven tractor beam, if so to say, which is more the active one. So best example there is the SRV, for example, that has its full purpose to be to tow ships. So you basically have a stranded ship that you attach to and then move around. But what we also want to have there is some ships might have an indirect remote turret, or indirect remote version of a tractor beam, which is more the, let's say, aggressive version. So it's more in combat scenario. You have a situation that someone tries to flee, and you just use the tractor beam to hold that person in place, so that that person cannot escape, and you can actually pull it in to grab your bounty. An additional feature that we also see in the future is combining the beams. So you are able to, like, not only one player, once it attaches to a box, that only that player is able to move the box, but like have maybe people targeting the same box and fighting over the box, or even like the body, and then being able to move that around. Maybe even the FPS devices are so big that it is like you at least could be able to grab a small Aurora or Nox or something small. So it's like, it makes sense that you are able to grab that tiny vehicle or tiny ship.
God, I can see people doing so many.
With the future being somewhere out there, let's actually talk about what we have in plan for 3.19. We are actually working on the entire tractor beam thing in regards to the SRV. But one thing that we noticed while working on it, that we actually have one thing that we could split out and actually bring to you a bit earlier than anticipated. And this feature is basically item stripping. So you detach items from certain ports, or you or more use in like riddles that are done by the level design teams.
Once the vehicle is soft dev or unlocked, you're gonna be able to, with a tractor beam, find all the good guns and modules like shield generators or life supports or whatever, detach them, put them on your ship, or put them in your cargo hold and sell them later, or use them.
Interesting name.
So you will use your multi-tool, the very buffed version of the multi-tool, to be detaching those weapons where there is a new weight limit that the multi-tool can now exceed. There's a new volume that the multi-tool can now exceed to allow you to detach at least like a majority of the items. There might be items hidden behind walls that for sure you will not be able to detach from their socket, but all the items that are visible, and especially the internal components that are size 0, size 1 and size 2, you will be able to detach from their socket. And if you have a spare, for example, sitting around next to you, you can even exchange them. If you have a shield generator and you notice for the situation that I'm right now in, it's not good enough, so you can take out your multi-tool, grab it, pull it out of the socket, and grab the other one that you have, which might be suiting for the situation better, and then just pop it in, and voila, you just changed your shield generator on the fly. For weapons, since they're on the outside, we allow you to detach any weapon that matches the metrics. So I think right now the biggest that you can pop out of the socket are size 5 or size 6. Depends a bit on the shape, because we have different masses and different volumes for the different shapes of the different types that we have. So it's a bit dependent there, but what is important to us on the tractor beam are synergies. And what synergies we have is, or we will have with this feature, a way to restock yourself. Like not restocking with physical ammunition, like you have from your ballistic cannons, but at least from missiles.
You can potentially find a ship that's sub-dev or like fully destroyed that has the same type of missile, and you can grab those missiles attached to your own ship and use them like in the future fight.
In a multi-crew scenario, you can have a friend sitting around with their Cutlass Black full of missiles, and you just take it out of their backside and refill your ship.
With Pyro, obviously, it would be much more interesting because there's like a more limited shop supplies and all of that. But even right now, it's like a pretty valuable option because a lot of those components are actually pretty expensive.
What we also will allow you to do is like strip the items off alive ships, but to prevent other players from randomly stealing.
Sorry, I'm gonna pause. I mean, from a logistics point of view, that's really awesome. Like in org battles and whatnot, and just player thought up, you know, what's the word? Essentially, in, you know, PvP scenarios that are thought up and advanced, at least at this point in the game, you're going to be able to actually restock your ships without having to go all the way back to a station and pay a fee and waste your time. And so if you can plan that ahead of time, it could lead for a complete change in the dynamic of battle, which is really awesome to see finally starting to evolve and show itself in the game. That's really cool.
You the items, we will lock that behind a certain functionality. So right now the discussion is that we will have an unlock key binding that you press, and then you basically allow the items to be detached from their socket. So you press the button, and then anyone in your ship or anyone around the ship can then detach the items, either use them on a different ship, on the same ship again, or sell them for profit.
During the Go No Go, there was like a comment that it is a potential exploit if the parts are too expensive. The exploit is that you can spawn your own ship, claim it, and then sell the parts of it, and then reclaim it, and then kind of do this loop. It would be counted as a crime right now, I think, but it's like, you know, up to debate. So that's something that's being discussed right now.
There's also the synergy with, which ties in very nicely with the mining update that we have been talking about already last time, which is
a crime.
Like you can exchange the mining head on the fly. Not only the mining head you will be able to detach and attach, but also the sub-items attached to the mining head. So if you have, for example, a brand module that just depleted and you have a spare one with you, just grab your tractor beam, pull it out of the cargo hold and attach it again to the mining head. So you restocked your brand module, for example. Not only we have the synergy now for the mining, but also for refueling. So if you have a Starfarer that has fuel pods and they are empty, and you just stumbled over an NPC or another player that has a fully filled Starfarer, you either negotiate to buy one of their fuel pods to get it over and attach it to your ship, or you find another way to actually
those things are pretty big, so
get the fuel pod with the fuel inside and attach to your Starfarer, and voila, you have a Starfarer that is now able to refuel other players without you paying any money for the fuel that you, or maybe you paid a bit of money for it to be attached to your ship.
We also have some quality of life stuff. So if you have a gun and you move your mouse left, right, the gun will rotate this way always. Before, rotating was very tricky. Now it's a bit more intuitive, at least from my perspective.
Because we also did salvage with the same concept as we did mining with the sub-items and so on. Yes, you will also be able to detach the sub-items on the salvage head or the salvage head in the future itself. and exchange the modules as you like and as needed. So this is the next step we will take with the tractor beam for 319, and there are more to come. What I'm personally looking forward to the most is how it actually ties in with all the other systems, and I think that is also the most joy that I already get with this release for 319, which is how it already well interacts with the refueling that we did, with the mining update, because there we talked about how important it is now that the items are fitting the rocks, and now it is like even in our QATR or in our internal play sessions, we now have a fully stacked Cutlass Black with all the mining heads there, and we just swap them out regularly, and it's really fun. It feels like this is how it's supposed to be, and it's not anymore like this weird like menu gameplay. It's like real. It's physical. You have your tractor beam in your hand. You have the item lying in front of you. You pull out the item from the socket and you attach it anyone. So I'm really looking forward to what you will come up with. So
sorry for pausing once more, but yeah, definitely it's a lot more engaging doing it in person than having to do it through a tactile menu system. That's awesome to see. You know, I'm super excited to see how this affects, you know, every system of the game, from mining to logistics to combat. Being able to, you know, I keep going back in my head the idea of being able to loot a ship that you just killed that may have the same loadout potential as your ship, and being able to swap that out on the fly, you know, being able to get out there and investigate, see what it is, and, you know, say, hey, is this better than what I have? Yeah, let me go ahead and add it to my ship because it's going to give me that tactile bonus that I couldn't afford before, or I wasn't willing to put the money into, and I can get it for free now, essentially. It's an awesome experience. That sounds so much fun. Some awesome stuff. Let's keep watching. I know we're towards the end of the video, but there's some awesome stuff.
Right now we are not trying to limit it too much. We might reconsider that once we see you like bringing havoc to our game, but for now,
yeah, I have too much fun making these videos.
is out there.
I'm so happy to see that they're really taking the comedy to the next level. This entire year so far.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that tractor beams will add additional functionality to the salvage gameplay that came online in Alpha 3.18, as well as new mining improvements arriving in 3.19. That its scope will continue to expand into better cargo and vehicle options in the releases beyond that. And that now is definitely the winter of our Torsten content. Because he's done like 3 episodes in 5 weeks. 4 if you count SCL. I owe that guy a beer. 2 for the bad Shakespeare pun I just did. And remember, for continuing updates on the post-launch status of Alpha 3.18, keep an eye on the robertspaceindustries.com website for details. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all here next week. You've seen people say that we rely too heavy on beam gameplay, that everything's a beam. Oh, yeah. Salvage is a beam. Yeah. Mining is a beam.
Actually, we internally joke about
is a fucking beam. What do you say to people who say that we're beam citizen?
They are right.
Use it.
Yep, use it. Oh gosh, that hit good. That was really funny. I don't know about you, but please tell me in the comment section below: are these episodes hitting you as hilarious as they are me? That was a great episode. Not only being able to see the SRV, this whole sea, the entire future of what, you know, tractor beam gameplay is looking like. That was a great episode. That was a lot of fun. I don't know what else to say. That was some good stuff. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, please. I love having chats with you guys. It's always a good time. Let me know what you think of like what your opinions are. Do you think they're moving in the right direction with it? You know, what they showcased with the tractor beam rifle, which has been teased for a long time now. I mean, gosh, it's been probably about 2 years now. Finally seeing that in game, whether or not if that is actually how it's working. I mean, the clip that they showed of it holding back an Aurora, which was absolutely nuts to think about the overall power, power scope that could have, if that is truly the case that they're looking to work with, is so much fun. There's so many ideas that are running through my head. Imagine a ship full of people with those tractor beam rifles just screwing with any sort of combat situation. You just pop out and you hold a ship in place. They're confused as all heck about what's actually going on until they can see that you're holding them in place. It is hilarious. And then on top of it, the future with ship-based tractor beams. I'm super excited for that getting into the game. They're making progress on the progress tracker with that. Hopefully, we'll see that here by summertime. It's exciting stuff. It really is. But I'd love to have that conversation with you in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. But with that being said, we're going to end the video here. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a thumbs up. It really helps us out. It lets people know our channel exists and spreads us throughout the YouTube algorithm. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We're currently sitting at 75 subscribers, looking to get to 100 by the end of the year. And once we hit that 100 mark, we're going to be having another giveaway contest. So the sooner we get there, the quicker we can give out that sweet LTI prize that we have waiting for y'all. With that being said, we're going to end the video here. Thank you so much again for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.